It's always a pleasure when the King's out here, and today, King, good to have you with us, but we got a big announcement to make here on Championship Wrestling.
Well, you know, I just wanted to come out here and talk for a couple of minutes about some changes that are going to be taking place, and I appreciate you guys leaving me to be the bearer of what may be bad news. I'm not certain that it will be. Hopefully, it won't be. But I just wanted to come out, and I guess they had me do it because when you look around, other than Lance Russell, I've probably been here longer than anybody. But I can remember back when I don't know if that's good or not.
Bad.
Right.
That's true.
But I can remember back, just like probably everybody here in Memphis. I grew up watching studio wrestling, as did I've been told hundreds of times that my fathers, that they grew up as a kid watching wrestling every Saturday morning with their father, and then of course their kids are growing up watching it with their fathers. I remember going to the wrestling matches with my dad on Monday nights when it was down at the Ellis Auditorium. Of course, it moved from there to the Mid-South Coliseum, and then from the Coliseum, it's moved to the Pipkin Bill, and then back to the Coliseum, and now wrestling is at the big one. So everything changes. But one of the things that hasn't really changed for a long time, at least probably about 30 years, if my memory serves me correct, is the fact that, well, of course, it did change. If you remember, probably 20-something years ago, wrestling on Saturday mornings was on Channel 13.
That's true.
WHBQ. And then, of course, it moved here to Channel 5, where it's enjoyed tremendous success.
21 years ago, 1976.
Okay, 21 years here on Channel 5 on Saturday mornings, and the ratings have been phenomenal. The fan support has been great. Everybody watches wrestling every Saturday morning. Right? But as I said, everything changes. Nothing is sure in life but change, and I'm here to talk about a change that is going to involve the USWA wrestling show, and it's coming up very soon. Our good friend, President Clinton, made I guess you would call it a mandate recently, and it goes into effect September the 6th with the starting of the new season. President Clinton, I think he and Vice President Gore decided that maybe they know a little more about how people should raise their children than parents do. And what they've decided to tell everybody is that all TV stations, they've mandated that all TV stations have to carry 3 hours of children's educational programming every week. Now, this is not a bad thing, of course, but just now all of a sudden the TV stations are told they have to carry this kind of programming, and so they all of a sudden have to look around and say, where are we going to carry this program? Where are we going to put this program?
And they have to put it at times when children will watch it.
Children are watching. So NBC, which Channel 5 is an affiliate of, NBC has determined that they're going to send down the children's educational programming on Saturday mornings. So Channel 5 has no choice but to carry that programming because it's mandated by the federal government, the FCC. So then all of a sudden what happened was they have to scramble and start looking around for a new place to put USWA wrestling. And what has been decided on is that starting with the new season, September the 6th, right here on Channel 5, the USWA wrestling will be on Saturdays at midnight.
Well, there's a good reaction from the crowd here.
There's a fairly good reaction, which in actuality, they tell us, and if you look at the ratings and everything, there are more homes using television, more televisions in use in the Mid-South area, Saturdays at midnight, than there are Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock. Of course, the demographics are going to be a little bit different. Probably not as many young people are able to stay up that late. That's why we're telling you now, so that what you can do is you can set your VCRs, and also another thing that they have informed us is the fact that whenever it's available, and it should be quite often, they will rerun the Saturday midnight show on Sunday afternoons or Sunday mornings. So it's not like USWA wrestling is going away. We're moving to a different time. Hopefully, it'll be bigger and better. Saturdays at midnight, things may get a little wilder on the USWA wrestling, may get a little more out of hand. You're at a late night situation. It could, as somebody said, it could get a little more extreme. But anyway, I just wanted to come out and let everybody know that that's what's going to be taking place. Saturday, September 6th, USWA wrestling moves to midnight. We want you all to be here with us, and for people that can't be here, set your VCRs, because that's where we're going to be.
Jerry, thanks for coming out, and I know that was not an easy announcement to make, but of course, you being the icon, the true icon of the USWA, I think the right person made the announcement.
Well, you know what? speaking of icons, I'm going to come back in a few minutes because I got something I want to say about the so-called icon. I got a little special words for Dutch here in a few minutes, okay?
All right, King. So there you have it. Starting September 6th, USWA Wrestling moving to midnight right here on Channel 5. Write it down, set your VCRs. Hope you'll join us then. Well, we got a lot of action all around the USWA area. And Tony, why don't you run it down for us?
All right, Michael, thanks a lot. We have a lot of action coming up around the area. Want to remind everyone, though, in Walnut, Mississippi, tomorrow afternoon, right there at the softball field at 1:30 p.m., Lawler's Army will be there in Walnut, Mississippi tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 p.m., playing a great team from Walnut. And Jerry the King Lawler feels that Lawler's Army softball team will be undefeated still tomorrow in Walnut, Mississippi. Now, let's take a look at the action on tour. Like this Thursday night, we return to the Lady Luck Casino right there near Lula, Mississippi. Thursday night, August the 28th at the Lady Luck. Jerry the King Lawler returns, as does Too Sexy Brian Christopher. Dangerous Doug Gilbert will be there, and PG-13, among others, all scheduled this Thursday night at the Lady Luck Casino. Then, September the 1st, Monday night, Labor Day Spectacular in Union City, Tennessee. Dangerous Doug Gilbert, the USWA Heavyweight Champion Doomsday, and a host of others all signed for Union City, Tennessee, Monday, Labor Day, September the 1st. Then Brinkley, Arkansas, Wednesday, September the 10th. Hot USWA action coming to Brinkley. Springfield, Tennessee, Sunday, September the 14th. Don't miss the USWA action in Springfield. Then Martin, Tennessee, Martin High School, September the 20th. USWA action invades the Martin, Tennessee High School. Then USWA wrestling action coming soon to Jonesboro, Arkansas, Blytheville, Arkansas, and Forest City, Arkansas. That's the USWA on tour. I'm going to be looking forward to coming to a lot of those cities. Make sure you catch it whenever you can. Michael, Memphis, Tennessee, the Big One Expo Center returns August the 31st.
And boy, what a card has been signed in Memphis for the 31st at the Big One. This may be the biggest card ever in the history of Memphis wrestling, and it's coming here at the Big One on Sunday, August 31st. That's a week from tomorrow at 7:30. Want to remind you that that there's free parking at the Big One, and it should be one whale of a big card of action. Let's run it down right now. Opening up things, you will see Rick Titan in action against Bulldog Reigns. Following that, Recon will take on Spellbinder, so the big man will be in the ring. Then, the USWA has ordered a qualifying match between the two leading contenders for the USWA Tag Team Championship. So as a result, this match, it's sort of a triple threat on the 31st at the Big One. This match will determine who will get a shot at the USWA Tag Champions, as PG-13 will battle Paul Diamond and Rex King. A lot of bad blood between all three teams. One of these teams will challenge for the championship. We'll find out who it will be at the Big One on the 31st, as the USWA Tag Team titles will be on the line. It's currently held by Steve Dunn and Flash Flanagan, and one of these teams will take them on. Then, in a special challenge match, the Madman Rod Price will take on Jerry the King Lawler, and this is one the fans have been wanting to see, and it will be happening at the Big One on the 31st. Then the USWA Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. The massive Doomsday, he's got the belt. He'll take on Dangerous Doug Gilbert. And then the main event, the Unified World Title match, the Icon Dutch Mantel, representing the USWA, will take on the ECW's Tommy Dreamer. So that will be the big main event at the Big One on the 31st. And we have Tommy Dreamer on the phone. Now, last time we had Tommy Dreamer in the studio, we almost didn't have a studio, so I feel a little safer today. Mr. Dreamer, I understand that you are on the phone with us.
Yes.
And you have the match for the Unified World Title coming up at the Big One here in Memphis next Sunday at 7:30 against none other than the Icon Dutch Mantel. I'm just going to let you say what you have to say.
You know, the last time I was in Memphis, I talked to the people in the arena, and they all told me how great Jerry Lawler was in the past, but how much he's changed for the worse through the years. Last week at ECW's pay-per-view Hardcore Heaven 97, I saw traces of the old Jerry Lawler. I saw the fire burning in his eyes, but as always with Lawler, the fire went out. This isn't about winning or losing. It's about bringing Jerry Lawler back to being the king. The best way I know how is by taking something that he cherishes, the unified title. I understand that the Icon Dutch Mantel has that belt. Well, Dutch, you too were great, but you sell out whenever you get the chance. You jumped on the ECW bandwagon one week, and now you're an icon. Hey, remember, Dutch, when you get power, along with it shows your weakness. So icon and king. Instead of passing the torch to the younger generations and teaching us the way, you guys try to hold on to that glory forever. Well, next week, I have off from ECW, and I'm coming to the USWA, and I'm going to take that torch that you guys won't pass and shove it down your throats. So I'm coming back to the great hardcore state of Tennessee all next week on my days off to represent ECW, spread the revolution, and to change the future of the USWA on all their live shows and take the South back to the extreme.
Well, Mr. Dreamer, I hear your words, but you've got a tough match against a veteran in Dutch Mantel, and I keep hearing rumors that your real intention is to take the unified title back to Philadelphia or back to wherever ECW is and keep it there forever, which is, I don't see that happening.
Well, you may not see it, but I know in my heart I'm going to represent ECW in the best way I know how.
Tommy Dreamer joining us on the phone here today on Championship Wrestling. He has the shot at the Unified Heavyweight Championship against the icon Dutch Mantel next Sunday right here at the big one in Memphis. And here comes Dutch Mantel along with Team Icon.
Now let me have my say. I come out here and let Dreamer run his mouth. I didn't try to come out and interrupt him or anything. But Tommy Dreamer, let me tell you something. Son, I was whooping people like low-life, egg-sucking dogs and using diapers. And if you think that the younger generation, now yeah, you're younger than I am, and you're younger than Lawler. But if you think you're going to come down to Memphis and you're going to walk away with this unified title, then you got another thing coming. Because there's a lot of heat around this title. Lawler is dying, the previous owner, I might add, is dying to get this back. But you end up with the shot. You know something, Dreamer? I don't carry this around with me for no reason. And if you're talking about blood and guts, well, I was doing blood and guts, like I said, a long time ago, and I can do it again. So, Dreamer, I want you to get on that first plane that smokes out of Philadelphia International. I want you to land in Memphis. I want you to get off that plane, and I want you to have me on your mind the whole time. And I want you to have ECW on your mind the whole time. And I'm not representing USWA. I represent one person. I represent one team. I represent Team Icon. We stand alone apart from everybody else. So, Dreamer, you bring it on. You bring all your ECWAs. You bring all your ECW friends, because I got friends, too. And when it's all said and done, you ain't leaving Memphis but with one thing, and that's that tail tucked between your legs. Now, Rod has a match with Jerry Lawler coming up, and he can't challenge if he loses. Right, Rod?
Well, let me tell you, King, this is what it's about. You know, you love that belt so, so much. But you know what? To get another shot at it, you got to go through me. And you know what? That's not easy. It's not easy. You know, the chances are the same as the Tennessee Oilers beating the Raiders. It just isn't going to happen, Lawler. I'm here to tell you, I'm going to use you as a stepping stone. Nothing's going to be there, and you're not either. I dare you to show up the big one. I dare you.
One more thing. Doug Gilbert, you can bump those gums all you want. This man is 6'9", 320 pounds with 5% of body fat, and I don't think you're the man enough to take the USWA heavyweight title off him. Come Sunday, August the 31st, the fire is going to be lit. Not under him, but under you, Doug Gilbert.
7:30 on the 31st at the big one in Memphis. The USWA comes back to the big one with that big card of action, including the unified title match. Dutch Mantel putting the title on the line against Tommy Dreamer. Also want to remind you one more time, starting on September 6th, USWA Wrestling moves to midnight. That's midnight starting the 6th. Mark your calendars, set your VCRs, and we'll see you for action then. We're going to take a break. More USWA action is coming up right after this.